Alright, this video is going to cover the general breakdown of the 4 items used to create the golden gun, and then we will assemble it to show how each of these come together. This is the lighter. As you can see, it has a lid that opens and closes. It uses 2 magnets to actually hold the lid in the closed position so that it doesn't just fall open. And we have the cigarette holder here. It also has 2 magnets to hold the lid itself in the closed position as well. And the different part of this particular cigarette holder that none of the other ones have, or that we've even seen in the movie, is this actually has a small hidden drawer in the bottom of the cigarette case. It's set up so that it doesn't just fall out, but uses 2 magnets to actually hold it in the closed position. We have the pen, and then we have the cuff link. So as far as the cigarette lighter itself, you can see it's got perfect print, perfect knurling here along the sides, a little bit in the back here, and some on the top. This is the top of the lid, and again we show the 2 magnets, and it holds itself closed. Also, there's 2 little wings that were included in this particular print to keep the door, the lid itself, from moving from side to side. It holds it nice and secure. So that was one of the changes that I did to this particular print. And I'm going to go ahead and slide this open. You press down here on the bullet. This is an actual 3D printed bullet indicating 007 right there. And so basically you put that in there, you push the bullet down, this part of it opens, and that sets it up to actually receive the barrel and the handle part that goes down here. So we're going to go ahead and remove the bullet, set that aside, close up the little door there, and put this down. Then you take the cigarette holder. Again, we saw earlier the lid opens, it's held closed magnetically, and also this portion has a magnet at the top of this as well to hold it in the closed position too. So you can see here both sides all the way around. It's a nice clean print, a little bit of texturing here on it to kind of add to the look, and the smooth center piece here. This is the center detail that's a kind of a smooth texture, as well as the bottom and the top here. So we're going to go ahead and have that set there. The pen, this here portion here on threads, we're going to set that aside. And when I push on this little rod, you notice there's a little aluminum rod. That's also another addition to this particular prop. When you press the aluminum rod in, it pushes on this part of it here, and this is a partial, they call this the brass part of the bullet. We will be using that in this particular design. So I'll set that here, and then we tilt this down and remove this aluminum rod. Set this down, and of course the cuff link we saw earlier, it's actually hinged right here to, again, to give the impression that it is an actual working trigger. All the components here are made of plastic, so you do have to kind of use some care in the usage of this particular item. So let's go ahead and assemble it. Again, we show the cigarette lighter itself. This part here moves. There's a couple of magnets here that holds this in the down position, as well as one up here to hold it in the closed position as well. Right here you see a hole, and this particular hole is where the cuff link actually threads into. So this one is designed to have the threads built right here into the cuff link itself. The threads are down in the tube there rather than a visible screw, because the screw is now located right here. So when you assemble it, this actually will thread in to the screw located here inside this hole. Okay, so let's take the aluminum rod, and we will actually place that here in the end, put that in like that, grab the pen, this threads in here like this, and the cap itself is not glued down. Okay, it is removable, but what we're going to do is we're going to just firm up the barrel and line up the pen part of it here, the actual clip. So we're going to line that up straight like that, so that when it's firmed up, you got a good clip right there, kind of aimed straight straight across. Okay, so there we have that. Now the reason the aluminum rod is in there is to help maintain stability so that it doesn't wiggle like that. And you can see it has a little bit of motion, and we will relieve that by opening this up, and we will take this part that we saw earlier. See, because what happens is when I move that, that aluminum rod moves back and forth. So we're going to relieve that motion there by putting the end of this cap in there and just kind of nicely firm that up, and that way that definitely firms up the barrel with the top part of the golden gun here. So we'll close that up. Then we take the cigarette holder in the opened position, and then you line up this clip right here, and these parts that stick up, this square one actually lines up with the slot right here, so that, again, so that it doesn't move from side to side. It tends to hold it a lot more firm than other ones that I've seen. So you're going to go ahead and line up this little clip right here with the indentation right there. So you line that up, okay, carefully line it up, and you slide it down in, okay, because it's going to lock. And as you see, the hinge part here is just going to drop in there like that. So that pretty much locks it nice and firm. And then we're going to take the cuff link, spin this around like that. We're going to take the cuff link and finish the job. So we line this up, everything's firm. This hole here should now line up with that screw that we saw earlier. So we're going to carefully thread that in. And again, being that this is all made of PLA plastic, you just have to use some care when doing this particular part of it. What we're going to do is not really tighten it up, because again, we don't want to snap it off, but we do want to turn it in such a way, so we'll back up right there, so that the trigger is facing in the correct direction. It can go a little further, but we don't need to do that. If we just line this up here, the trigger is there, and of course it holds everything firm and solid, just as you would expect the weapon to be. Alright, so there it is. I just wanted to go ahead and show you that the components do indeed make up the golden gun itself. We have the 007 bullet right here, and so anyway, there it is. Just wanted to share this with you and show the assembly procedure and how it actually comes together.